One of the tools that can be quite amazing to kind of kickstart your house tracks and quickly make things more interesting are delays. So let's say you just started out a house track and you just have a few drums and one chord. Could sound like this. So we have a bass drum, hand clap, a shaker, a conga, and then this chord sample right here. And here we have the exact same setup. It's all the same, just I added a few basic delays to that. Let's compare. This is what we had so far. And just by adding a few delays, you can turn it into something like this. Obviously, we're still missing stuff to make a whole track, but this could be the intro, kind of kickstart an idea and get things going. So let's take a look at what I did here. The basic beat that we had was this, right? Very simple. Let's just get a delay and throw that on the shaker, because a great way to quickly create some grooves is just, for example, to get a delay repeating at a 16th note, which in Ableton would be 1, and then just play with the dry wet feedback and the filter. So let's listen to that. Like this is obviously too loud. Let's bring this down a bit. So if we now move the feedback around, we're going to get different grooves. This is kind of a bit more bouncy, and this is more constant. We can then also filter that down and kind of play around with this. Maybe more dry wet. The less dry wet we have, the more focus is going to be on the original hi-hat, right? So this would just be the original hi-hat. And then we can blend in this. Already, like, it sounds pretty cool, but it's just one shaker kind of repeating, okay? Then if we change up the timing, we can create different grooves. Let's put this on 6, for example. Sounds a bit too click-clacky, but if you fine-tune this, you're going to find cool spots. But I really liked one a bit more. Let's find some settings which are cool. Nice. Let's move on to the clap. This is just a very basic 505 clap, right? So let's also get a delay on here. We're going to grab the same simple delay. Everyone should have at least one delay in their DAW that does this. Let's just stay with the normal setting. So now we could technically play around, right? Maybe this kind of quiet, like some ghost notes in there. But something that delays can be amazing for is actually spreading things out a little bit, because some old school samples like the 505, they're very mono, right? It's kind of nice to have things spread out a little bit, but still being mono compatible. And a good way is usually to spread out the quiet sounds, right? So if we have a silent delay in here and we kind of make a slight difference between left and right, it's going to spread out things nicely. All right, we can now even turn this down a bit. Let's do the same for the shaker. Maybe this a bit faster. We're quite nicely spreading things out. Okay, let's go for the conga. Let's also get a delay. Ghost notes quieter. Some more feedback. Nice. Feel like I still need some fine tuning over here. Cool. Let's bring in the chord sound. Obviously a bit weird. Just this one note. So now what I wanted to show you guys, a delay obviously repeats stuff and things like that, but it can also be a very nice effect. Because if you make delays quite short, they're kind of like a flanger or something like this. Let's just take the chord for a second and turn this off and just take the time. We're going to link them. The shorter you make it, the less time there is between the different sounds, like the repeating chord steps, right? And the shorter it gets, it's going to sound, becomes an effect. In one of my videos about sound design, there is also a part where I kind of explain what happens here. If there's a very short time between different sounds, they start sounding like an actual sound themselves. Cool. But here I was kind of fine with the timing setting, also with the 16th note. I wanted to make the chord a bit more stereo as well, so I delayed them slightly. Nice. So this is... Things can sound kind of short and awkward, but if you put a delay on there, already sounds a lot more interesting. And then we can create a sequence by adding another delay. Let's listen to that. That's cool. I mean, we've come a pretty long way. If I now turn off all the delays, which is going to take me a second, of course, but let's see, we're going to take these off. At the beginning, we had this. And with the delays, which I had here, it sounds like that. So obviously, there's still elements missing for a house track, but to kind of kickstart things and create a groove and get things going, delays can be quite amazing. So thanks for watching. Looking forward to see you on the next one. Ciao.